How do you describe the most beautiful car ever produced in the world? This is a recreated Murphy-bodied Duesenberg. Fred and August Duesenberg made these crazy cars in the late 20s, early 30s, and you can read about it. Death, destruction, mayhem. Supercharged Duesenbergs. These cars were beyond anything anybody could have imagined. First car with hydraulic brakes. This is a 1930 boat tail speedster, 320 cubic inches, 320 horsepower. It took, 25 more years to arrive at that figure in the mid-50s with the Chevy and Chrysler war they were having with the Hemi and the 265 and the 283, 315 horse, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, patterned after the original body by Murphy of Pasadena, California, dual side mounts. Original cost $15,000 when you could easily buy a car for under $1,000. This was 15 times the price of what you'd pay for a car back in 1930. It was just after the Depression, and this car was owned by a mobster by the name of Factor, and it was all over the world, and the parts came from all over the world to restore it, and this is the most unbelievable, beautiful Duesenberg straight 8. Yep, it's a Hemi restoration. Cross flow cylinder head. Supercharger, which is driven by something, I don't know, gear driven off the crankshaft, probably a shaft coming up the other side of the engine block. What a monstrosity. This was one beast to drive, and it was finished par excellence, and the body was chopped up. Who knows what it looked like. Wow. I read an article in Hemming's Classic Car. They were discussing the difficulty finding tires for these old cars back in the 50s when you could buy these things for next to nothing. 1930 Duesenberg boat tail speedster. This restored J249 Duesenberg was originally owned by one of the most charismatic and elusive criminals in history, Jake the Barber Factor. Factor's infamy as a criminal only grew upon his relations with mob boss Al Capone. With such colorful and loud exploits, Factor's Duesenberg certainly fit his lifestyle. After changing hands through British royalty and eventually returning to the States, this J249 underwent a full restoration, complete with parts from all over the world. What an unbelievable story. There's a lot more to it than one little page. Boat tail speedster reproduced because who knows where the body ended up, chopped up, made into a tow truck, like so many of them were, because they had huge inline 6s and 8 cylinders. It's got inlaid wood and leather and pinstriping, and it's just the finest car with a laid-back windshield that money could buy. We're at the Martin Auto Museum. Mr. Martin is still alive and kicking. He's in San Diego buying a boat. He's been buying land in South Phoenix for many, 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 many years and putting up buildings and filling them with beautiful old cars and tenants to pay the rent and pay the mortgage. And the fruits of your labor is this beautiful car museum. And there it is. Duesenberg boat-tailed speedster. I'm not going to show you every car here because we got to go. We got things to do and places to see and people to bother. Front-wheel drive, Everett, Logan, Cord, Auburn, supercharged, speedsters. This one is a recreation. I don't know what it's sitting on, but it's not the real thing. Martin Auto Museum in Phoenix. Great place to visit. Only a $5 suggested donation. Everett, Logan, Cord made these cars in Auburn, Indiana. Front-wheel drive, hideaway headlights. This one is not supercharged, but it looks like it is supercharged. Actually, yeah, supercharger right there. Driven by something, I don't know. What kind of engine this is, with the exhaust exits the top. So the combustion goes in, makes a U-turn and comes out there instead of the exhaust exiting at the bottom of the head. Wow, supercharged. The real deal. They made a Cord, little finger select transmission. They made a 8/10 Cord back in the mid-60s using a Corvair rear engine, in the front. 8/10 Corvair Cord. Wow. Douglas solid rubber wheeled T-Ruck. What year is this? Sounds like a fun time. '58 Chevy hot rod in the background. Might be American Graffiti. Leading a parade. Solid rubber wheels. What a work truck. Having lots of leaf springs for a heavy load is nothing new. This looks like it would have been a coal truck. Wow. Solid rubber, no flat tires with this baby. What is it? Yep, 1917. Douglas dump truck with a Buddha 60 horsepower 4-speed gearbox, 2-wheel brakes, mechanical dump box. Mel Martin's first vehicle when he was 16 years old. That was 70 years ago. Truck used in mining onyx ore in Mayer, Arizona area. Wow. Honeycomb radiator. Solid castings. You could drive this thing anywhere if it had 4-wheel drive. A mining vehicle. 61 Corvette go-kart. There's GT Mustangs and 4-speed Chevys and Thunderbirds and Fords and hot rods and Buicks and Model Ts and brass cars. Fine, fine place to visit. Maxwell's and Fords and a motor wagon. Wow. Recreation of the first car ever produced, second car ever produced. That was a Duryea maybe, or a steam wagon. We are having a great time at the Mel Martin Auto Museum I think we're in Northwest Phoenix. Let's see, North Black Canyon Highway, Phoenix, Arizona, 17641 North Black Canyon Highway. Come and visit. Make a little donation. You get to see a brand new L48 automatic pace car Corvette, or a 67 Corvette small block convertible, or a 67 427 hooded small block Corvette, or a 61 283. Last year for this 283. The next year was the last year for this body. First year for the 327. Or this beautiful air-conditioned 66 red convertible, red Corvettes, 1, 2, 3, 4. We love our red Corvettes. Lister, high performance, 327, 350 horse, leather interior, deluxe seat belts, air conditioning, 4-speed, teak wood wheel, telescopic steering. Doesn't get much better than this, except when you add on the side pipes and the knockoffs. Supercharged. Cool. And this is the last car we're going to look at quickly. A 31 Cadillac 2-door convertible with a golf club door. And these cars get driven. You gotta drive them. Turn the wheels and the headlights turn. No hydraulic brakes on this baby. Mechanical brakes. Yep. Whoops, sorry for the finger. Mechanically braked 31 Cadillac V8. What a great museum with lots of artifacts. Got to make the kids happy when you're sitting behind the desk of your '58 Chevy. Thank you. We had a great time.